back to the intro voice.
That's
Hello, hello.
my doctor now. Welcome everyone to the Cavalry. Johnny, how you doing? You're doing good. You look
I'm
good.
doing fantastic. It's good to see you again. It's been a few hours. We did a Zoom show together.
Ooh, a hot one. It was a hot
Yeah,
one.
hot one.
You're giving us a peek of the real basement
I
today.
am for all of our YouTube fans
It
versus
looks
the
pretty.
audio only.
It looks pretty clean to me. Looks pretty neat.
It's well, I made them clean. I mean,
Yeah, let's take a
it's
tour.
there's a
Okay,
bunch of shit on the floor, but the rest is all dark.
not literal shit, just a few toys.
Right? There's
Uh,
toys.
yeah, but that looks good. Yeah, we did the Zoom show. Oh, I wanted to update. This is a new segment I'm just inventing right now. I want to update a previous topic that we needed backup on, and that is my own. I needed backup because I was claiming that these companies were using coronavirus to they're already bad at customer service and they're using the coronavirus like, oh, we're sorry, but
as
due
an
to
excuse.
COVID-19, as due to COVID-19, wait times are a little longer. It's like they've always been long. This is just a cop out. We then literally we talk about that. Like a week later, we get this email from I don't know, we've mentioned them so many times, but we'll say a comedy streaming service that pays us like quarterly. Now I'm like hiding it. But a comedy streaming service that pays us quarterly. And they're like, oh, we can't provide your a breakdown of your payments this quarter because due to the coronavirus. It's like, you guys, you have no connection to COVID-19. You have it makes no sense at all.
It's so funny because I posted that on Facebook, and at the same exact time, one of the other comics posted the same thing, and we didn't even see each other's. And it was like minutes apart.
It's outrageous.
It's just ridiculous.
So anyway, that was the update, just to show how right we are in the in the world. But
and just how terrible companies and corporations and successful
yeah, man. I'm against the man.
Yeah. Bernie.
We're for the little guy. Oh, wait. Is he still going? Hey, so what do you need backup on this week, Johnny?
Okay. So let's get just right into it. Okay. So I believe in recycling. I think it's important for us to recycle, to go green, right?
Sure.
That's not the whole topic.
Okay.
Okay. So my wife is very green and is very carbon footprinty. So this is where I have a problem with. Okay. So I recycle. I think it's a hassle. It's not the easiest. Mainly, well, and for us, because the recycling's out in the garage. We haven't bought a separate recycling thing. So anytime you have to recycle anything, you have to go out to the garage. So I'll put, whatever. Okay, peanut butter's out. I'll throw it in the recycling. And then I'm not going to name names, but my wife will go get it, and she'll bring it back inside and say, you can't just put that in recycling. You have to clean it.
Right.
Like everything, the jelly, the peanut butter. I'm sorry. I'm doing my part. I am not going to scrub an empty peanut butter jar. Do you know how hard it is to get peanut butter out of anything?
Oh, yeah.
I have to clean the jar before I can recycle. Well, then just put it in the trash. I'm really going to make that much of a difference, that one thing.
How do you clean a peanut? That just occurred to me. Clearly, I've never done it, but especially like a plastic peanut butter jar. How are you getting?
You have to soak it for 4 months with warm water and soap.
I was just thinking that's one of those where I would just fill it up with water, and then that's it. That's what it would be for the rest of my life. It would be in the sink. I'm with you. I have a question about that too, because I feel like I've seen certain things where it was like on Mythbusters or like this Penn and Teller show or something, where they follow the recycling to the actual recycling plant and sees how much stuff, what a futile effort it is or whatever. And I've still recycled despite all that. I still, but if you throw the peanut butter jar with peanut butter in it in the recycling, what happens? do they just go, well, we're not cleaning this either, and do they throw it away? Like who's ultimately responsible for it ending up in the landfill?
I don't know, and I don't care. I do this for my own conscience, so I feel like a good person. I don't honestly care. In Omaha, I have good sources that tell me they've seen the garbage truck come around, pick up the garbage. Same truck, 20 minutes later comes, picks up the recycling. I don't like it just all goes to the
Right.
same place. And that's
Well, and
I'll keep recycling, but it's not my job to make
I just
sure.
think, yeah, I think like it would think if you are cleaning that peanut butter jar. I mean, that's an extra 20 minutes out of your day or whatever. And
4 months.
then 4 months. Yeah, 4 months prep, and then a
Right.
good 20-minute
A good
scrub.
scrubbing.
And then so think if you do all that work, come to find out it's just going to the landfill anyway. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he missed a spot, throw it out.
Yeah.
Like
Throw it over
somebody's
the
job
fence.
right, throw it in the neighbor's yard. But I'm with you. I think it's we can only do so much, you know. Like what you were talking about with the Omaha thing. I remember in Seattle at like Wendy's or whatever, they switched to like not only was there recycling garbage, there was compost. So there was like 3 different
Okay.
trash things
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
trash. When you push in, there was like 3, and then they all went into the same can. So literally there's like
3 openings.
Yeah, there's 3 openings in one can. And then you see the guy taking the big plastic bag out afterward. It's like, this is such nonsense.
Huh?
And if you're eating at Wendy's where really like there's someone like studying the sign, like, okay, this plastic fork can be compost. Okay, this napkin. Like these aren't the, I eat at Wendy's. We're not like the smartest. We're not big readers, so I don't think it's like the right clientele. But
Do you guys compost?
yeah. So we do the yard waste, and we do the we don't have our own compost pile. I actually have, when we bought the house, it came with this like kind of a rectangular black composter, and there was stuff already in it, but just like old grass clippings and dirt and stuff. So I put grass clippings in there just till it got full, but then I was like, I don't know what to do with this now. Do I have to wait 50 years for this to turn into dirt?
I don't know how it works.
And I a couple times I've thrown like food in there or like dog poop or something, but I didn't know like, well, when does this turn into something I can use? Is it 100 years? Is it 2 weeks? I don't understand it. So I've filled up the black thing, and then I leave the lid on it, and nothing happens with it. And so everything else
don't have that space anymore.
Yeah, and then so if like with the kitchen stuff, the food scraps, we put that in the green. We bought one of those like metal tins, and with the green bags, and we put the food in that, and then that goes in the yard waste. But then Heidi she's sensitive to smells anyway, but then now she's pregnant, it's like extra sensitive, so she can't have that green bin. Even it's got like a lid with a filter on it so we have to put that under the sink so every time you want to throw away like a banana peel, I gotta open the sink under the cupboard under the sink, pull that thing out, open that lid off, scrape it off, put the lid back on. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, so wait, what do you do with the green bags then?
Then I take those out to the yard waste.
What is the yard waste? I thought the yard waste was the compost.
I'm confused. No, the black thing is the yard waste gets picked up every week.
Oh, see, I just put I put our yard waste in the garbage can that says don't put recyclables or yard waste in here. I'm not gonna, they say you're supposed to call. You're supposed to call to have them pick up yard stuff.
You have to call them every time you want them to pick up. No, we have it once a week. They come and they pick up our big green bin, which is supposed to be for your yard waste and your compost.
How many bins do you have? A recycling, a garbage, and a yard waste?
Dude, it's Portland, man. I got 4 bins. I got recycling, garbage, yard waste, glass.
Oh,
I have a yellow bin for separate glass containers.
See, that's just recycling here.
You put the glass
with
in?
Your recycling. Yeah.
No, we keep it separate.
Oh.
It
all goes to the same place.
I know. Well, no, in Oregon too, they have this like recycling. It's like one of the states where you like get 8 cents for turning in a Coke bottle or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. And so, and unfortunately, it's like a lot of homeless population in Portland, and so they go around collecting cans, and so usually they'll go by and take cans or bottles out of people's recycling. So like, you spend all the time to sort it, and then they come anyway and come and take it out before the recycling truck comes to get it. It's a very intricate system. But then the other day I was in front of my house, and there's a woman there with a shopping cart and combing her hair in the street, and I noticed she was going to the side of the neighbor's house, but on the side of the house where I was like, which is a little like, I don't know, usually they wait till you put them out on the front of the street, but she actually went into so then I'm kind of just keeping an eye. I was like, okay, I'll just keep an eye, make sure she doesn't take anything like important, or just takes the bottle. So she's just taking the bottles in the glass, whatever.
Yeah, you gotta make sure she just takes the bottles, no dog poop. Leave the dog poop,
Don't
take
leave
the bottles.
leave my dog poop compost pile alone, please. This is my 50-year project. But I'm so I'm just keeping an eye out, whatever. But then this neighbor across the street, he's a little older than me, and he's been here for a while. He comes over and he goes, "Excuse me, miss," and he has like a big conversation with her about like going onto their property. And then he says this line, and I'm standing right there, and you tell me if this was directed at me, but he goes, "See, in this neighborhood, we look out for each other, so I'm just checking." And I was like, "Oh, is he taking a shot at me because I didn't say anything? I don't know. Let her get the bottles." Yeah, that's what I. So I'm kind of hijacking this, but anyway, I'm backing you up.
Well, where do you draw the line? Because like peanut butter, that's the worst I could think of. But I mean, like even a yogurt cup. I'll put it in there, and it's like, did you wash it? No, I didn't do the dishes of the recycling. I'm doing my part.
Right. Jelly seems impossible. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I could get peanut butter out of a peanut butter jar. But jelly, like old, like jelly with the seeds, there's no way you're cleaning that.
Oh, I think that comes out easier than peanut butter.
Really? I don't know. I don't do either. I clean out the ones that are very easy to clean out. Like if you make like pasta sauce from a glass jar,
that's easy.
Pour that in. I do a quick rinse, and I'm like, oh, look, clean glass, and I put it and I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, peanut butter, no chance. No.
Yeah, I'll do the pasta jars, no problem, if Erin's home.
Yeah.
She might see.
Otherwise, you're just rolling them over the
fence.
Neighbor's problem now.
Yep.
Well, I think there needs to be like constant transparency on what's happening with the recycling, because every time they do one of these reports, it's like you said, your friend in Omaha, and then I've watched these various TV programs I didn't really follow up on or anything, but it sounds like it's not really going anywhere. It's not very useful. So I would like to know more about how much we should
do an investigative thing where we put, you can buy those trackers that you put on the bottom of your car to see if you're,
that's
if your
LoJack.
on you. So we're going to put that, we'll put one in recycling and one in garbage. And then we'll just see if they end up next to each other on the map.
We're going to LoJack the Skippy.
Yes.
Put a LoJack on the Skippy. We'll see where it ends up. And then we'll do and then we'll get the local news, involved. Follow us around.
You'll have to get 4. I don't know how much those LoJack things, but you'll have to get 4. I only have to get 2.
Yeah, we need someone else to finance this.
Yeah.
But no, I support you. I don't think it's completely unreasonable to clean out peanut butter jars. And I would love to know if the city actually telling us to do that, because come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard it from anyone other than my lovely wife. So.
Okay. Well,
I feel supported. That's good.
You feel supported? Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, we're pro recycling. I'm pro recycling, like you said. I'm pro recycling, but I'm also pro, like, if they get a jar and it's got a little bit of peanut butter in it, and then they look at that and they go, well, they left peanut butter in it, and they throw it in the garbage. At that point, it's kind of on them for being
totally on them.
Green, right?
I'd love to catch them and be like, excuse me, I am doing my GD part to save this world so your kids have a playground to play on,
You know what else somebody told me is that if you crunch up your aluminum cans, they can't recycle them. Like you
Oh,
should leave.
really?
Like see, like I'm drinking a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I used to like squeeze that or
Or
crush it.
step on it.
Yeah, my grandpa used to always like flatten it like straight, and like make it as
Yeah.
small as possible.
They can't recycle
But
if you do that?
no, you're supposed to leave it like intact.
Oh,
I heard that
wow.
once, and I don't even remember who told me that. And since then, I've been doing that. But I'm
You've been
doing my
flattening
part.
them?
Less work. Now
That's
that I can
true.
get behind.
And what about like pizza boxes full of shit and grease and shit?
Okay, see that I know the answer. Pizza boxes. This is just one giant recycling PSA.
Yes.
Compost. You're supposed to compost. If it has grease on it, you compost the pizza box. So if it's cardboard, but it's got cheese and you don't have to
Yeah.
clean it, you just throw it in your yard waste. And then
But
the
then you
any
have a
part,
pizza box in your yard for 50 years.
no, in your yard waste, not in the compost bin.
Oh.
Although maybe you could. Again, I admit I do not know how composting works, so maybe that does. Someone maybe can correct us. I don't know, but
I mean,
yeah, you can.
we have 3-month-old eggshells in our backyard in the compost,
So
little
you guys do it
crate.
too?
Well, I mean, it came with the house, and Aaron wants to do it. So, but we don't know what the hell goes in. Then we got tree branches, and you know,
Right.
yard clippings, and you're not supposed to put like empty your lawnmower bag into your compost pile.
Are you supposed to? I've been doing
I
that.
don't know. I have no idea. I'm asking you.
Yeah, it doesn't
Her,
seem to
her,
work
her.
for me.
My mother-in-law said, "Oh, you know what you got to do is you got to order some manure. That really activates it." I'm trying to save.
Right.
I'm not. What? I gotta buy shit like literal.
Yeah, and like that. Okay, see, that makes me feel better about throwing the dog poop in there.
Yeah, that's yeah. I
But
don't
if you
even
have
do
to
that.
buy, if you have to buy the manure, then why not just buy the good soil in the first place?
I
Maybe
I
manure
don't
is
even know what you're
cheaper.
supposed to do with soil or with compost. With compost, is that the whole point of compost? You use it as soil like 30 years
Yeah,
later.
yeah. You put it on your dirt, and then it helps your plants grow. Right? I don't think
Well,
it's
my
rocket
plants don't
science.
need help growing.
Well, this gets back to another subject that we've touched on before. But
That's true.
we're bailing out these plants. We're coddling them
Yeah.
with their compost. Okay, here's what I need backup on.
All right.
We gotta keep this thing moving for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I, people. I don't know if you're feeling this. I'm definitely feeling this. This quarantine is loosening up. People are getting a little loosey goosey on the rule. Like people are out.
Oh yeah.
They're doing stuff. They're traveling. The vacation season is happening. And people are wearing masks, and they're trying. As we learn the rules, people are doing as smartly as they can, right? They try to do stuff outside, or if they're going to go out to eat, they eat on the patio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although I will say, like, as the mask wearings become more prevalent, the distance is shrinking. Now people will like get right up next to me, and they think if they have a mask, it's like no, I prefer the distance part. I like that part
Right.
a lot better. Like just stay 6 feet away from me, just in general. But
Yes.
here's what I need backup on. I don't like now when anybody posts anything, they have to like add this caveat that they did it safely, right? So it's like, hey, great time at John and Cassidy's wedding, socially distanced, of course. It's like, no, if you went to the wedding, just have the confidence to say that you did it. You don't need to throw in the little like legalese at the end that because we don't know. Anyone can say that, so we don't know that you were doing it properly. You probably even weren't. But like, I don't like this new thing where no matter what you say, you have to add to the fact that you were safe the whole time. Let's just be safe, and you don't have to brag about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. And I have seen that too, and it's ridiculous. It's what it is it's people ignoring. So they're like you said, they're just over it, and they're forgetting, they're loosening up, and then they have these pictures that they want to post so everyone can see their party or whatever, and then they're like, oh wait, that's gonna be if we post this, it's gonna look bad. We'll just say it was social distance so that we don't look like
Everybody's
irresponsible
like
citizen.
everyone's like a politician now. They're like, oh, I got these hot picks burning a hole in my pocket. I gotta get them
Yeah.
up and get the heat. But then, but we could get some blowback from the
Right. We don't want to get any bad PR.
from the health crowd. Okay, well, maybe we could message this properly and include something about how we're still worried about the victims, or I don't know. It's just like be confident to just say if you went to a thing, you went to the thing. We're going to assume that you did it correctly unless the picture directly contradicts that. Because that's the other thing I hate, that then they'll say something like where there's no impossible to socially but then they tried to say, yeah, and they did it so safe. We went to this underground rave, but I'm telling you, it was so safe. Everybody was following the rules. Like, come on.
Yeah. We went to Teresa's orgy very responsibly, of course.
Right. Oh yeah, we felt very good. They took it really seriously.
Yes.
That's what everyone said. Oh, they're taking it very seriously. Yeah. They're taking it very seriously. I'm sure the virus respects that. It's like, oh, you know what? They're being solemn about their dinner out here. I won't infect them.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Just be safe. You don't have to tell everybody you're being safe.
It's almost fishier. It's almost fishier. Like,
that's it.
I could see pictures where I'm like, oh, look at that. That's a cool wedding. And then and then you see the caption, we were very responsible. That only makes me like, wait, oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. Hang on. No, those people are like, that guy's eating butt in the background. No.
That's so true. You're telling on yourself,
Yeah.
It's
suspicious.
Like, it is suspicious. It's like, and I definitely didn't kill, my brother-in-law. It's like, whoa, wait, why did you? No one thought you killed your brother-in-law. Now we think you did.
It's a sham. It's a big old sham.
Yeah, it's a sham. Okay, but that was just been annoying. So what else? What else you got? What else you need backup on?
All right, this is the Irish goodbye. Okay, the Irish goodbye. I don't know why that has such a negative connotation. I think it's the greatest thing.
Man.
I don't think it's rude. I think it's wonderful. Do you disagree?
You're talking my language.
I get anxiety. I stay at parties longer because I feel bad about having to not do the Irish goodbye. So I'm like, wow, if I can't just head out, I'll just stick around
it's harder as a couple. When I was single, I would Irish goodbye almost exclusively. I don't think I ever said goodbye. I never said American goodbye. only Irish goodbye. Yeah. But when you're a couple, then it reflects poorly on your wife, and then she doesn't want to be associated with that behavior. Plus, when you're single, you can just develop a reputation like, oh, that's just Johnny. He comes and goes. Nobody.
Oh, he's just rude. It's fine. He's just rude.
Right. Oh, he's just an asshole. It's okay. That's Johnny, Johnny being Johnny. But
well, let me ask you this. So when you say like with couples, I totally agree. But with you, is it you or your wife? Who's more of a social butterfly?
Well, we're both bad at parties, and we're both kind of introverts and are like constantly like talking to each other like, please do not leave me. You can't go. Like, that's the best part about being married is like you have someone who's like, you have to talk to me if I tap you on the shoulder, like, hey, how's it? Like, she can't just go, okay, I'm gonna go over here now.
Right.
Like that, we both benefit from that. But and actually, she probably there definitely in Los Angeles, we would leave parties all the time, just not say goodbye to people. But when it's more like personal, like family type stuff or friends that we know pretty good, it's harder to do as a couple, I think. But I was like, listen, here, I Irish goodbye a whole city.
I think I've done that. So did I.
Yeah, I think I've done it twice. Because when I was living in Boston, I literally did a set, and I knew people pretty well. Like I made a lot of really good friends in comedy in Boston. Never told anybody I was leaving, and then I did a set at this club called Motley's. Got in my car with my buddy Jason, and we drove made it to like Chicago that night or in the morning or whatever, and then drove the rest of the way back to Seattle. Never told
Yeah.
anybody. And then they're like, where'd you go? It's like, I don't know, man. Kind of ran out of money and had to go home.
Oh God. Yeah, when we left LA, I didn't tell, like I told very few people just because I don't know. I just was like, I didn't want to make that announcement like, hey, ignore me, forget about me. I don't matter. I'm not here anymore. So I was like, all right, we'll just go. And then I would, people I would tell, like I called Carmen and I was like, hey, yeah, I just wanted, we didn't want to make a big deal of it. So we just didn't. And she's like, well, there's a difference between not making a big deal and fucking sneaking out. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, Heidi and I, we did the same when we left LA. I guess we did the same thing. We didn't have a party. We didn't have like a goodbye party, or we told like our neighbors. I think I told like a couple of my friends, but a lot of like my good friends in comedy that I really either started out with in LA or moved down there with had already kind of gone by that point. So I was just kind of felt like I was like, oh yeah, we'll have a goodbye party, and then my head is like, nobody's gonna come to this. What?
That'd be the saddest goodbye party. Just a reminder. Oh, this is a good thing we're leaving. No one's here.
You gotta tell like the bartender constantly, yeah, we're heading out, we're leaving LA, it's 10 years. He's like, okay, great, do you want to close your tab? No, we're gonna stay here for a while. I mean, we're tomorrow, we've got the truck and heading out.
Got a truck. You got any routes that you recommend for out of town?
Yeah.
What?
Where do you stop on the drive? Where do you usually but like, do you
When you leave town, where do you stop?
when you're running away,
Yeah.
what do you like? But what about saying goodbye do you not like at like a party?
I don't know. It's just that it's and it's not even like big. Everyone says they have social anxiety, but like it's just a little like I don't know what, just the awkwardness of I don't know if it just stems from childhood or what. Just walking up to someone saying, oh, hey, heading out. Just the fear of them being like, I don't give a shit. Okay.
Right.
And
Well, like it.
well, I
Okay.
just assumed you'd care. Yeah.
I was just asking if there are any party bags or anything I didn't want to miss.
Yeah, do you have
Some
any little
bubble
bags
gum.
with those parachute army guys that I can?
Do they still do party bags? You have kids. Do they have party bags?
Well, pre, what's it called? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
did.
well,
That's
that's good
such
to know.
bullshit. Yeah, get ready for that. It's your kid's birthday, and you have to buy more presents than anyone coming to the party because you got to buy a present for every kid.
What's the most economically efficient party bag where you can like, oh, this was cheap, but then kids like this, and I can fill a lot of bags? Probably like candy, right?
It is candy, and that's
Yeah.
like I say we, but it's my wife because she cares about our health. But like she's like, no, we're not going to just give everyone candy. This is terrible for kids. It's just terrible. So
Yeah.
she'll like knit every kid a sweater or some shit. But like we go to every other party and it's like, oh, a pinata and here's a bag full of candy that your parents are going to take away from you on the drive home, and then the kid's going to hate the parents for the next week. It's just like, oh, come on. It's the worst.
Okay, well, I'll try to remember that. I think I was just thinking like with the again, the Irish goodbye. I think the part I don't like is just finding the person. So sometimes if a party's crowded or an event or wedding, especially like a wedding, you don't have to find. Do you find the bride and the groom to say goodbye? I mean, it's so hard to get to them sometimes.
Only if we have not said hello. If you've said hello, then no. You're doing them a favor by not tracking them down.
You really at a wedding, you just have to prove that you were there to them, and then like you get the credit. But yeah, I don't like that. Like you're wandering around the party, and I feel like everyone's looking at me like, where are you going? Who are you looking for? And I'm like, oh, I'm just, I gotta get over here. I'm have you seen? and I don't like
What, to
that
try to
part.
find the host of the party or
Yeah, I
whatever?
don't like looking for it because then that's another 25 minutes. And usually when I'm ready to leave, I don't know about you, but with parties, like especially, I just remember this about Los Angeles so much. When I was ready to leave, I was ready to leave. Like either
Mhm.
my feet hurt or I was broke. I didn't want to buy another drink or
Yeah.
whatever it was, but it was time to go, you know? And finding the person that you're supposed to say goodbye to takes forever. Or if it's like not like a host and it's just everybody is like kind of knows you or whatever. So now I got to say goodbye to you. Say goodbye to one person, and they're like, "Oh, are you leaving?" And then that's
Yeah.
another 5 minutes of goodbyes. You know.
Then you bump into someone you said goodbye to 15 minutes ago because you haven't left yet because you're busy saying goodbye to everyone else.
And
It's
then, oh, you're
annoying.
still here. You get that little
Thought
stupid.
you were
Hey,
leaving.
I thought you were leaving a half an hour ago.
I've been fucking trying.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Bill. Why don't people invite us
Fucking
to
Bill.
parties?
We love parties.
Yeah, I love party bags.
Oh man.
Okay.
The old
Well,
Irish goodbye. All right, good. Whoa,
I'm
wow.
with you. Yeah.
What a
I couldn't be
shocker.
more with you.
What a shocker.
No,
Our
we're so
parallel lives.
again, parallel lives. I'm telling you, because it's so funny too. We did this thing. I'll say this quick before I'll say my last one, but we did this little question thing where we asked each other these 6 questions for
Oh
this
yeah.
comedy website. And you said something in your answer because I asked if you would ever move. Like you lived in a big city, small city, you know, would you ever move back to a big city?
Yes.
And you said, hopefully not. I tell my wife, I want to die in this house. And she says to stop saying that. And that we literally, my wife hates when I say anything about dying in this house. Like we've had that exact conversation. And now I know it's like serious. Like, it's like, don't ever like, she likes to think we'll live in New York and Paris and we'll go live in Hawaii for a while, and then we'll go live in Montana. She likes the possibility of being able to live anywhere. So if I ever said, no, I think we'll die in this house, she would have like a claustrophobic freak out. She would not like that at all. So again, parallel lives. I just bring that up to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my last thing is, you know, I try to like read about politics and stuff. I want to know like, you know, current events. I want to be informed.
And that's where our parallel lives divide.
Well, I don't know. Well, hear me out, because I don't ever watch like kind of these big ticket political events, right? Like debates or the speeches or like the conventions. Like as we're taping this convention is going on. I don't like it. I don't watch it. I don't like watching it. I don't like just the presentation of it. Everybody seems like so tense or phony or like and that's like, I can just read about it. I can just read. You tell me, okay, what are you for? What are you for? There, most times the choice is pretty stark. And so you can read about it and decide for yourself. But my wife, she thinks, she's like, no, you got to watch this stuff so that you'll know, you know, you got to be informed. You're not like, and my brother-in-law too, they're just so aghast that I don't want to watch these debates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's a train wreck all the time. And then I know who I'm going to vote for. Like I'm kind of, I made up my mind, you know, it's like, I don't need all this stuff. So I don't think I'm a bad citizen for not watching that, but they tell me I am.
Yeah, you're voting for the same guy you did 4 years ago. So I no, I totally agree, and I've always said, and like I'll say that because my wife will get, that's one of her things. She likes to watch the news, and she's like, well, I just try to be informed. I'm like, especially like right now, I'm like, I can't do it because it depresses me. It makes me angry in the back of my head. There's just negativity. So I'm like, I can't watch it. And the whole argument of, well, don't you want to be informed? It's, if something everything that happens will work its way to my eyes and ears at some point. You can't avoid it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to watch it on the news and then see it on social media and then see it, you know, every platform I'm on. I'll see it in the checkout. I'll see, you know, you just hear about it on the radio. Like if you get what happens, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, no, I know. And like, I just think also, if you really want to be informed, is watching the convention the best way to be informed? Like, it's just an infomercial for what they, want you to think, what they
Right.
want you to know. It's like, I'll just read like, a few articles here and there, tell me where to vote, tell me when to vote, that kind of stuff, like local news, important stuff, whatever. These like big, like CNN, like I remembered in the debates, like Trump versus Clinton, I was too nervous. I was like, I can't watch this. I can't, it can only go bad, like, I don't know what, oh, because if they're like, Hillary won the debate. I'm like, what that didn't mean
Well,
anything. It didn't matter. She didn't get any points for it. It's like she
how do you win a
lost the
debate? Is
election.
that just like they have special judges that say, well, she made better point? There's no scoreboard.
Exactly. Like, so I don't know. Like, and then there'll be these Biden Trump debates, and I'm telling you right now, there's no chance I'm watching them. There's just no chance. I can't bring myself to watch it. It's like, I've made up my mind. Just get it over with.
Is it because it's depressing, or because it's a train wreck, or because it's just so negative?
I think it's like, that's a good question. I mean, when I think about it and I think about my resistance to watching it, I think it's like, well, there's going to be like, Trump's going to lie, right? And then he'll get away with like most of it before anybody has even time to like catch up to whatever lie he's on. Then I'm like nervous that like Biden's going to, not do very well. And then I was like, this could be the whole. So what I would rather do is just like, let's get it over with. I don't want to think it, just get me to November, whatever. I'll vote. It's probably a bad sign.
You don't want to watch the
but I just
game. You
don't-
just want to hear the score the next morning.
Exactly. I just want to hear the scores. I just want to hear the scores, look at the analytics, look at the data, and then vote, and then be done with it. But I don't think that makes me like a bad citizen, because I don't think that's like the important stuff. I don't think like watching the debate is important.
Right.
I think like knowing what issues are important to you or whatever, and reading about those, that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, you do your research on your own. How many people has each candidate, sexually assaulted, and then you just kind of
Right.
crunch the numbers on your own.
Who's killed more people due to gross negligence? Okay, you take the greater of the two of those, subtract by how many people they're accused by women of groping, and then divide by their age. Right. I mean, that's who you vote for. Everybody knows this. It's not that hard.
You learned that on day one of school.
Of social studies.
Yeah. Well, that was just too easy.
I know. Easy. All across the board, actually. The only one that I was hesitant on is recycling, because I do believe in recycling, but
don't get me wrong. I believe in recycling. It just should be easier than anything. It should be just as easy as not recycling.
It should require, I want to change the world, but it should not take any effort on my part.
On my part, right.
That's America. That's what we ask as citizens. Ask not me to clean the peanut butter jar.
Peanut butter out of the inside of the jar.
Just don't ask me that.
And are we doing this for our great grandkids, or our great like how far down the line is this? I want to know who I'm doing this for.
Well, that's like with like climate change. I feel like they really they spent way too much time on like in the 70s and 80s. Like they knew about climate change back then, but they spent too much time. They were all focused on littering the whole. It was all like, don't be a litter bug. Meanwhile, we're like burning these fossil fuels. It's going to ruin the. And now we're having 9 hurricanes at a time, and California's on fire. And it's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have spent so much time like picking up stuff on the side of the road and been designing electric cars. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm up on the issues.
You know what the hell you're talking about.
I definitely sound like someone who knows what they're talking about. Oh God. All right, Johnny.
Oh, we did it. Another Cavalry in the bag.
Another home run. I can feel us rising to the top of the charts. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, and tell a friend. Share. I've had big developments
Ooh.
since we last talked. My wife listened to an episode. She had to drive to Seattle and without me, and she listened.
I like the explanation. There wasn't 1 second gap before you explained why she was trapped and nothing worked except for the podcast app.
Yeah, and she listened to the podcast, and she liked it. So there you go.
Good. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So
I will. I'll update you as soon as my wife does the same. But to be fair, she always likes our promo clips.
Yes, she does. And,
you know what's funny is I said, hey, I noticed she because she was working all day, and I saw that she had liked or hearted whatever the clip on the Cavalry Instagram page, and so I was bumped into her later, and I was like, hey, did you like the clip? And she goes, oh, I didn't watch it. I was like, well, but you liked it, and she's like, oh yeah, I always like those clips. So she doesn't even watch it.
Now, see, there's someone
That's blind love. That's a blind
love. Yeah,
good.
she's like me. She's like, I don't need to watch the debates. I know who I'm voting. I'm voting for the Cavalry. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to listen to it. Just voting for it. So I can appreciate that. So anyway,
so leave a review. Leave a review. That's the point.
Leave a review. Tell a friend. And thanks for listening. And goodbye.
And we'll see you next week
on
the Cavalry.